attack should hit AoE, and then we do the rest of the stuff like hit windstorm and that. But unfortunately, things don't seem to be landing. It's not a problem. I'm not gonna. As soon as I get some resemblance of an okay one, we'll go with it. But maybe this is like karma for all the memes that Excel had to go through earlier. It would be ironic. Maybe it wants to see if it can test my patience.
Guess you're never far from a rat in Midgar.
Right, that was awful, but we're gonna go with it. Oh, I mean, these are non-stop testing me. Like, and from winning, so I was just going to be an example. I mean, why are you're not banned from winning? What are you lying about? X-Core, do you run this yourself? Just out of curiosity. With a response like that, I feel like you do. I'm sorry for what you're about to see here. Okay, that wasn't the worst. I mean, we can't seem to get past the bloody dances. But that's fine. I'm not too fussed about it. I'm not in that kind of time safe moment yet.
Oh, wow.
Some CK channels. Oh, nice, nice. Well, welcome in, Violet. Welcome in. I'm sorry, Nostro. I know you're gonna tell me off, but like, you know, you're a CK. You should tell people that. I do. It's on the channel. Now, did that work? I have questions. How do I do it better? So yeah, so I will have a small disclaimer. So I wouldn't say I'm a casual speedrunner, but I would say I am to some extent. That was awful. I'm a very easygoing speedrunner. Like I think I'm using your notes. Yes. Appreciate them, by the way. No, they make sense. They make sense. I missed on my very first attempt. I missed picking up the weapon, and I was left confused for ages. I was like, "Is this the DLC weapon?" And then I was like, I watched back somebody's run. I was like, "Oh yeah, you pick that up as you go." That makes sense. But no pressure then. Okay, so I've got like an MVP in the room at the moment. Okay. Stage fright.
Oh, you'll do the trick. Come on down. Sweet. Now to save the day.
Do 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 do. Oh.
Have no fear. Yuki's here.
Oh no. Okay. I did not mean to press the Y again. That is the Y again. That's my bad.
So not even a thank you?
I wouldn't highlight things on my account. I mean, I've run Final Fantasy games, and like my capacity to read things on a skim and like, you know, you miss something completely. Now I'm not even paying attention to myself. It's fine. It's fine. We're just gonna call this the first D-Rust of the evening and kind of go from there. If we manage to save time, then we clearly just suck effectively. I speed skim submission requirements too. Nostro, look, you appreciate my very casual style, alright? Don't pretend like you don't. They go, Reaper. They go. How they go, that's a different story.
Okay.
But no, the notes are exactly what they need to be, because it's not too convoluted, which is, you know, always nice.
Hi, Midgar. I'm talking to myself. City's getting to me.
I'm one of these. You'll see me just keep running this, and I will slowly but surely get better. Sometimes maybe a little bit. I'm calling that my intro. Just because of learning and memorizing things more so. That's just how I function.
I figured an elite W agent could find their own way.
I may be elite, but it's not like I've ever been to Midgar. What exactly is a W anyway?
Anyone who lives
Da, 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 da.
think of it as a code name.
Uh-huh.
Still can't believe they sent a kid to do this job.
This kid could kick your ass!
Saying you're a fresh face is all.
They are just commencing, Dom. They are just commencing. How goes it for you, sir?
Break, will ya?
And let you walk all over me?
Well, here we are. Ladies first.
Ba-da-da-da. I can't unhear. I'm just happy people are running Yuffie. I really enjoy the run because it's nice and short, but it's got a good amount in it that you can get punished on. I really enjoy the run. The day off was nice. I spent some time with Miss Gordo. It was good. I hope you all miss me. I'm going to give you all some time to miss Gordo on occasions. I do. I like to have my style of doing it. I have one rule in place, which is if I don't enjoy the run, you might see an item you do once and send, that's it. But otherwise it is a case of if I enjoy it, I'll run it, you'll see me run it again, without a doubt. Okay, we're a bit slow there. Very slow there, actually. That is my fault completely, and I think we just scuffed that. Nice. I need these to be pushed up so I can put the guard dog in front, but that is not going to happen. Not anytime soon. Yeah, I think we just reset. I think we do. Yeah. Okay, we scuffed the hell out of that. That's fine. Like I said, we'll treat this as a de-rust.
I've got better things to do.
Yeah, I do like to say I'm consistent with things, and I have a consistent, normal attitude to things. Whereas, like,
Whatever. Hang on.
I do things because, well, I enjoy them. That's my aspect.
So the dirt I'm looking for is in the shadow, right?
I guess that's why I'm a weird speedrunner.
What did you just say?
Well, maybe that's why I'm psychotic. I don't know. There's a few different things that could lead to.
Oh, that one. I just saw.
That's what didn't make in the building. Ask Naya. You know what the combat.
It's that thing that.
There's even word.
Uh-huh.
Everything else. What do you say?
I'm really good at
Virtual treatment. I'm sure you'd be happy to help.
You must be tired. Well then, no. How about you tell me? Actually, all I know is which means the. I see. So. Someone's still not back. What's Walmart? Let's just say that they've maturity. There's other business. No, I think I can bars filled with sure everyone gets fucking the I got days like that. 12 the happy turtle. First huh? I don't know where exactly you do, huh? You're taking time to ones. I some come to think of it. People call him old snap.
Come on.
I gotta find him. Manager some ditch help.
Why did that feel like so long?
All this talking's giving me a headache. I'm gonna go do some recon. I won't stop you. Don't go too far, okay?
Oh, sorry, cough. My bad, folks.
You ever heard of that,
Go back to Wuka. Oh, did you idea that?
You skip the entire thing instead of just silly speed up. Yeah, it's sometimes weird that they don't let you skip some chatter, and it's like, okay. It's like not like I'm getting anything out of by just speeding up instead of just skipping it. Do 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 do.
Searching for candidates detected. She seemed relatively
Hey,
my apologies. My name is Charlie.
and you. So, what are you?
Combat. It went him. Very well then. When you feel suitably prepared, please.
Sonon's gotta be back by now.
But yeah, we might do a few things today. So we might I want to try and PB in this one first of all in the normal category, and then I might do Head Start, and then I might do New Game Plus. New Game Plus is different to what I've done, so I'm probably going to just be winging that and just seeing how it feels in comparison. I'm going to be very Gordo-esque, all right. And then if we manage to do at least 2 PBs, we will.
You guys all set?
You know, we'll treat ourselves a bit of darts percent.
You're kind of a maze, so stay close.
So Naya, where are we headed?
To pick up your IDs. There's no way to get topside without him. But I thought Gigi was getting our IDs. What happened with that? He is, but those are different. It takes more than 1 ID, or even 2, to survive in this town. Don't forget, Midgar was built by Shinra for Shinra. Those tyrants!
Put the claws away, boss.
Yo, Sancho. Have you considered Frogs percent? Okay, cool. Talk me through Frogs percent. How much memory is it, and is it gonna destroy my soul trying it?
What do you think of the Undercity? Way too crowded, I can't stand it.
Those are all the criteria that I ask. If you can convince me, and then we'll most likely try it.
And the crowd's
I mean, if I ask the chat and they say let's do Frogs percent, I'm pretty sure they'd say yes.
wait a second. Are you actually saying you like it here? I thought you hated it. Midgar isn't the enemy. Shinra is. I know W's don't really see the distinction. We do.
Frogs is fine until Nero, which is awful. Okay, I want to do Frog percent for the name. I know Sancho. I think as soon as it said it, I was like Sancho's. I'm like, yes, Frogs percent, please. Okay, cool. What is required of the Frogs percent? I mean, it sounds like I'm doing a full run with Frogs.
After a policy dispute.
Hurry, because they're going fast.
Don't be the only one on your block without one. No, can't be close. The people in the Splinter Cell, they couldn't care less about collateral damage, long as Shinra goes down. So what's wrong with that? Sounds good to me. We're not out to blow Midgar up or tear it down. We want to.
All right. Criteria. Lightning. Energy. Okay, I'm on console, so that requires me to farm said things.
So, what exactly does this ultimate material do? Like after we steal, once we got the I is
Not just that. I sneak and Shinra not only will we deal and I will prove to them that it is with us.
sure is.
Okay, we can't do farm. We can't do thingy yet. Oh mate, I absolutely butchered the hell out of that.
Hey, at least you.
Yo, farm percent. Yeah, that is farm percent. So I have some farm and for 99 big bombers.
Those creeps anyway. Don Corneo's talent scouts.
Okay, what do I actually require for this
Unsuspecting girl.
then? So what do I need for frog percent
Thought it looked seedy. Guess
that I need to farm? What is this particular item?
Oh,
And yeah, there will be a heavy chance that I go on a combat simulator and just farm big bombers now, just randomly offline, just for like YOLOs. Sounds like a Gordo thing to do. Alright, so everything is going pretty crooked so far. That's for sure. And it's not the note's faults. I'm reading, but clearly not getting as much
Why does he need us to hurry?
out of as I need to right now, because that's my fault.
Well, if you ask me, it's high time things picked up around here. You like living in the fast lane, huh? Yeah, I'm not your garden variety, Wutaian. I'm a rare bloom.
More like a mutant.
Ooh, I'm so gonna use that. Hey, that's Jijia.
You're right. Hold up. Boss.
Frogs is new game plus only. You need to beat the Y super boss
Whatever it was, he probably did it for us.
to get enfeeblement rings.
No time for that.
Farm a second farm the big bombs, because that's your primary way of doing damage when you're a frog. Okay. Enfeeblement ring, does that turn me into a frog? Do I do the entire run as a frog? I'm assuming that's what frogs percent is, and I'm almost tempted to go ahead and do all this farming stuff. Only battles as a frog, okay.
Got Fred, I'll give you that. Piece of shit. He's toying with us.
I mean, I was expecting to do the... where am I running into walls for? Expecting to do the entire thing as a frog, I'll be honest with you. That's what my hopes and dreams were there.
Crawling with monsters. All in a day's work. Gotcha.
No runner. Boo.
I'm gonna go to town on these jerks.
What?
Oh, it's over.
Really?
Not too shabby, Sonon.
Back at you.
I'll run towards... I'll run towards switch. 3, 2, 1.
Gotcha.
We are fumbling. Well, it's a sloppy start, but it's a start.
You think Niall's alright?
She's a local, remember? She'll be fine.
No. She's actually...
But yeah, cool. You're gonna see a bit of this run here to start with, because for one, I'm looking to obviously do the main game, but I wanted something to kind of enter into the whole part of it beforehand. The best area. You love these conveyor belts. You turn up specifically for this area, sis. Unironically, I feel like you literally wait until this happens. Damn right it is. Damn right it is.
Get him away from me!
Embarrassing, boss.
I sense rookie!
Okay. Apparently I didn't get any to be quick enough. My bad.
Take the Like art.
Oh, I forgot one thing, didn't I? Got a few things actually, my bad. Have more jazz and video games? Why would you complain? Why would you complain? Nothing was intentional there. All a mess. So you guys throw 2 full ninjutsu strings on the Wrath Hound.
Got an idea. But let's get to a vantage point first.
Do 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 do.
Alright. See that massive structure up ahead? That's the pillar those troopers were talking about. Assuming you make it. We should probably head around. Sound good?
Yeah, works for me. Please don't eat me. I taste terrible. Gotcha. I'm unstoppable. You're going down. I want to beg for mercy. Ready for a smackdown?
Am I doing something wrong here? Because like he gets no ATB. Like seriously. Yeah, I am doing something wrong here. 100%. That's not even in question. Nah, that's legit on point. That's fine. We roll with that.
Leave us alone, will ya?
I wasn't even paying attention to the fight here.
You're going down. No freaking way. How do you like this?
Whatever. Whatever. Just cook me here. Just cook me here.
What? You're gonna make me do all the work? We're done here. Next time I will.
Jesus. Okay. What the f... What is going on? I've lost complete track of where I am. I don't like being up dogs. That's for sure.
Oh, that.
These people are soft. Look like Splinter Cell guys. Maze. That's the shit I teamed up with. Don't you think?
I don't care about you, Dad.
Guess so.
I feel bad for complaining, considering all they've done for us.
I know what you mean, though. We're all just really good people.
And that's the problem. Make sure it isn't me. Not that we care what
Can you go up, please?
boss. I want to try treading a little lighter this time. No point fighting.
He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. I've seen Shinji take on that sofa.
Very quiet. As quiet as a... Stay ever. Get lost. Gotcha. Gotcha right where I want that. How you like this? Nice one. With the power of his body. All right. It can't be far now. Let's get our rears in gear. Take D little oh go go go.
How am I 2 minutes ahead? What is this nonsense? What am I even doing here? Answer that question, folks. What am I doing here? Apologies if this offends your eyes. Anything you've seen here today, I would say it will change, but not for a little bit. If anything, it will get worse first. T, thank you for the lurk. Thank you for the lurk. Much appreciated. Yo. Yeah, we're just having a bit of memery throughout this entire thing, so no idea. But we are, funny enough, ahead still. Which doesn't make much sense. I mean, besides that, previous runs have been bad. Maybe that might be it. That was fun. It was a great time. We love, you know, conveyor belts. Alright, now this is where it all goes scuffed. Now this fight could go so much better if I can actually... Yeah, so we're going to try and follow this. Sink and throw ahead, then move to the left and switch the tail. Up. You switch the head and R to doing. You need to switch the head at Art of War and attack once if below ATB before. During tail swap windstorm.
Can't afford any more mistakes. GG's life depends on it.
Understood.
Ba da 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 da.
Centipede monster.
Couldn't they have made it less gross? You're going down! Weather this! Get lost! Nuh-uh! Not that one, did ya?
Oh, I didn't sync, did I? My bad.
Loyal minion!
Oh, I just staggered it as well. Never mind.
Back to it.
Need some backup!
You called?
Get lost!
Staggering it, its health's just capped there, I'm assuming, so it doesn't really matter. It's just going to run off the edge, so we'll just wait for it. Yes.
Run like a chocobo! Stab like a tonberry! Thanks for that!
guess I need them.
Nope, we didn't get it.
Probably not letting it launch.
Yeah, that's my bad. I mean, this fight I have absolutely nothing down for. That's just hardcore fact. And that's okay for now. I'll just make it somewhat work, I guess. You don't stagger it and other stuff happens.
Looks like he wants to get serious.
Oh, don't make it serious, alright? Dead serious. How do you like this?
I mean,
Remember the last time we went out for drink?
I'll take something for now. I think we might actually just go back and practice that fight though, to be fair. I'm literally fumbling where I'm going now though. Like, why am I so spaced out? Giggly.
Hey, over here! Can't believe those freaking morons. Damn, you got themselves trying to hide that stupid poster. They wouldn't have that here. This is not someone out of the walls.
Move your ass.
So, you think Niall and the others got away?
You can worry about that once we have cause. Boss, I don't think we'll be back here anytime soon.
I can forget you. Just look at this place. Weapons here, weapons there, weapons everywhere. They're ready for some serious action.
It sounds like you are too.
Duh. Unlike my old man, I'm not some lazy drunk. I fight for what I believe in. Something he'd never understand.
Wonder how he's holding up.
Behind bars, you mean? Not well, if the government's got anything to say about it. Good on him. Jail's where he belongs.
That's my master you're talking about. Mind laying off him a little?
You know what?
Bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum.
Not exactly my favorite topic. It's only gonna make me mad. More importantly...
My god, you people are deadly boring. Luckily, I know exactly how to liven things up. We got a little experiment. Just don't go dying on me. That would yield very interesting results now, wouldn't it?
Unit calibration complete. Initiating combat data collection sequence.
We can take them, can't we?
Alright. All completely wrong. Absolutely every piece of that.
Recalibrating for next test. Unit calibration complete. Initiating combat data collection sequence.
We'll bring Shinra to its knees!
It is supposed to be about 4 or 5 hours worth. Obviously the run can be done in about 40 minutes.
What? There's more?
It's supposed to be 4 to 5 hours apparently.
Unit calibration complete. Initiating combat data collection sequence.
We'll bring Shinra to its knees! You're going down! You got that one, did ya? At least put up a fight.
Oh, come on. What even is this?
Need a rest?
Alright.
Wanna beg for mercy? I'm unstoppable! You're going down!
Data collection complete.
Credit where credit is due. You exceeded my every expectation. And for being such good sports, you may now leave.
Why did I ever think for a second she'd be nice to us? She knows damn well it's gonna be a pain in the ass getting up there.
Clearly not paying attention.
Honestly, how do I do it? Now then, Sonan, how you feel about giving me a boost?
Ecstatic.
Right.
Okay, get to climbing. Oh, Materia, where are you?
Are you ready to die?
How you like this?
Not good enough! Here comes!
Okay. Apparently didn't want to grab both of those.
This their idea.
Oop,
Food lighting? 'Cause it's bad.
not quite that one.
Talk about
Damn right.
Level 1 power online.
Who knows? Who knows what they'll scrap next?
a ladder. Thanks, Shinra. That's weird. Not even a whiff of materia up here. But then there's no
This way.
I'm gonna go to town on these jerks. That's a good word to describe me. I'm thinking legendary.
I'm thinking modest.
Lead mods? Are we selecting that kind of nonsense now?
Man, I hate these guys. Not now. Weather this. Don't pull any punches.
Wasn't planned.
Ready for a smackdown?
That about does it.
I will keep that in mind. Thank you. Thank you. I realized there was no notes for that. I was just like, okay. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Like I said, if this offends your eyes, I kind of sorry, not sorry, but you know, it all begins somewhere, or it could just end. I'll get a sudden notification. Or said, no, you cannot no longer run this game. You all of a sudden have no access to these notes.
We'll to its knees.
Just enjoy.
Alright, let's forget about that one.
Back at you, boss.
No, I know part of him anyway, because I know Disa, anyway, from Stranger of Paradise time. And I pop in his stream quite often, just to see how he's getting on. And Big Sid, I've seen him in Disa's a few times in passing. I'm gonna do him. Done that. Oh yeah, it's back here, sorry. I'm completely fumbling. I was like, you know, it's here, because it's this lovely fight here.
Hate these guys. Ready? I sent you to a beating.
Oh, this is awful. What are you feeling? That's kind of down to you, mate. What are you feeling? What are you vibing with?
Welcome to our state-of-the-art weapons testing facility. This is where we push every piece of ordnance to its limits and beyond. Such tests are an invaluable part of the development process. Go on, see where the magic happens.
Commencing ordnance testing. Select ordnance type to deploy for this trial. Selection confirmed. Initiating ordnance deployment procedure.
I don't know.
Subjects approaching test site. Test will begin momentarily.
No, Marvel Rivals.
Beginning analysis.
Oh, I did not. No.
Get lost!
Try this!
So what'd you think? Aren't I just awesome?
Analysis.
Boo.
Continuing trial.
That one normally doesn't go badly.
Select ordnance type to deploy for this trial. Selection confirmed. Initiating ordnance deployment procedure. Subjects approaching test site. Test will begin momentarily. Beginning analysis. Analysis concluded. Continuing trial.
Sounds like a good show, mate.
To deploy for this trial. Selection confirmed. Initiating ordnance deployment procedure.
Sounds like a good shout.
Subjects approaching test site. Test will begin momentarily. Beginning analysis. Analysis concluded. Continuing trial. Select ordnance type to deploy for this trial. confirmed. Initiate
Of course.
ordnance
Of course.
procedure. Subjects approaching test site. Test will begin momentarily. Beginning analysis.
Yeah.
Just one of those.
Analysis concluded. Beginning final test. Selection confirmed. Initiating ordnance deployment procedure. Subjects approaching test site. Test will begin momentarily. Beginning analysis.
That's a good word to describe me.
My, how
Legendary.
impressive.
I'm thinking
Seems
modest.
I may have underestimated how resilient you ninjas can be.
Our mode are playing at Rebirth. Oh yeah.
How about did, you old hag?
You woo giants. So feisty.
Oh no worries, sis. We got nothing but time. We got easy, normal, we got hard as well. We'll give it a go across them all, but
After all,
we've got to work our way through it a bit.
whenever you're
There is absolutely no rush, ironically, for a speedrunner. And I can't play Rebirth because it's not out on Xbox. So it's kind of the point.
Where are we?
Not a good fight.
That's a long way to go. Just a joke.
And one to grow on. I sentence you to a beating.
She's going through a third stage. That is all on me. That was awful.
Pardon the wait. More? How many of those things you got? Get lost! Hit! Not now! Finish me up! Not a fan of my handiwork, I take it. Exactly right where I wanted that. You're gonna get
Bleh.
right behind you.
Oh, fuck's sake.
But we do have good intel, and we can't afford to let it die with us. Just a joke.
You're going down!
That was terrible. Absolutely nothing is going correctly.
There. But I don't think we've got a choice.
Pain sensation max. Deploying additional combatants.
Where are these freaks even coming from? Because I really like them to stop. Let's do this!
Got your back.
Alright.
Joke's on you, Shinra, if you think we're dying in this ugly box. Weather this!
Pain sensation max. Deploying additional combatants.
Okay, this is getting old.
There's gotta be a projection mechanism around here somewhere. Just find it. Bust!
Get lost! Leave it to me. You're gonna get this and one to grow on. Now can we please get out of here already?
Who's ready for all this to go even worse? Because Nero screws us more than anything, and everything has been screwed. Absolutely everything. It's ridiculous how many things have gone wrong.
I doubt they figured out.
Oh, we're just taking a casual jog. We're not even sprinting at this point. No, we just fast forward these.
How dare you? How dare you stand in my way? Where were we?
Don't know what this trap is, but it's definitely not good. Nero, Weiss, Shulk. I'm trying to think what they was a part of. It was more the not the OG. Oh, I was supposed to pay attention there. Nope. Okay.
Blame you, Sis. 100% blaming you.
Let's do this.
Prepare yourself.
That was it.
And one to grow on. Get lost.
Yes, the Deep Ground Soldiers. I remember I had a deck from the Final Fantasy TCG for it. And we didn't get the thing again.
Knows no limits.
I mean, look. It was awful. It was atrocious. It was bad. It was not even remotely good. I'm not talking about Dirge of Cerberus. I like that game. This run. But we will take a PB. We wanted sub hour. We got sub hour. Thank you for the GG's core. Thank you for the GG Sis. We have a lot of work to do in this run. Which is why specifically I said we won't be rushing along too quickly, because that Nero fight was awful. That was nothing with on that was planned. I mean, except for that maybe phase 1 was like okay, because that's what was supposed to have done. Thank you for GG's everyone. Thank you. You got Dom, Nostro, Teague. He just wanted a nut.